Time for the meeting. Last meeting of the year, regular city council meeting, December the 15th. Last scheduled meeting. Hopefully we won't have to have another. I'd like to welcome everyone. I could ask everyone to stand and join me in the pledge of the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, consider agenda for adoption. I have an add-on from Utility Department, John Hurd. It's Cheatham Creek Sewer Project. I believe that's right, isn't it, John? That's correct. Okay. Do I hear a motion that be added on under utilities, item 2?
So moved.
Motion to be added
Have a
on.
motion, have a second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, is there any other items for the add-on agenda? Due to the length of the agenda, and I'd like to move executive session to the last item on the agenda. If
Yeah, I make a motion, that's what we do.
that might be better for everybody. Under the, I understand we need an executive session, so I hear a motion we change the executive session to the last item on the agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second.
Thank you.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, adoption of the agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, I sent everybody got a copy of the minutes of no corrections on regular city council meeting November the 17th. I hear a motion that be approved.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Item B, executive session, November the 17th. Hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Item C, special call meeting for the budget, December the 1st, 2015. Hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. I may have said December the 15th, I meant December the 1st. Okay, item 5. Proclamations, resolutions, there being none. Item 6, old business. Any old business? There being none. Item 7, have a end of the year report, progress report. I want to briefly go over that with everybody, go through it. A lot of things happened this year and show where the money that the city budgets for every department, where it goes. Start off under administration highlights. We had 2 elections this year. City council seats, June the 16th, 2015. Had a special election to fill the unexpired term of post 1 vacancy, which was filled by Charles F. Welch Jr. On November the 3rd, 2015, we had the regular city election to fill the council post 3, 4, and 5. Post 3 was filled by incumbent Lewis Ledbetter, who ran unopposed. Post 4 was secured by Christopher Light. Post 5 secured by Linda Ledbetter. Christopher, Linda, raise your hand. I know y'all out there. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Ralph Perry and John D. Pugh will be retired at the end of the year. We had a retirement party for well attended, over probably over 200 people came through, but Ralph and Quincy and Doug Sarles. I told Doug he was shortest serving city councilman we've ever had. He served 2 months. He said, down in history, some years away from here, somebody's going to look and say, I wonder what happened to this guy. He only served on the city council 2 months. But Doug came in and did us a great job, and certainly we appreciate the work that Ralph has done for 36 years. He's been with us, and John D., the 23 years he served with us, nearly 24. So we appreciate them. Through the third quarter, all general fund departments, we've met the projected revenues, and we've also stayed under budget. The Lanier 400 Parkway will soon be open. That connects Ball Ridge Marine and Pilgrim Mill Road, and the city will have a ribbon cutting on that at a date given to us by our engineer at a later time. Also, earlier this year, we cut the ribbon along with the county commissioners on courthouse and jail, $100 million project, which City of Cumming contributed $13.8 million out of our sales tax to make it happen. And we applaud the county commissioners working with the city in this endeavor, and I think it was a good move. And the good part about it, the $100 million will be paid off out of the sales tax this year. So we're very excited about 3 years of SPLOST money pays for the $100 million courthouse and jail. So we're excited about that. Also under administration, we've launched several new communication projects. Electronic newsletter, which is sent to over 18,000 community members monthly. City News section on www.cityofcumming.net with sections for press release, photo galleries, newsletters, and meeting videos. Also, with the help of Crystal Ledford, we've started the Cumming City Star Employee Recognition Program. That's done every quarter. Crystal Ledford works hard with employees to do that. Under our police department, our police department's been very busy this year. They've handled over 19,754 calls. Average response time was 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Patrolled 258,624 miles. Had 384 arrests. Capital improvements in the police department was updating interview room, which included audio and video recording capabilities. Municipal court handled 1,844 cases involving 1,479 defendants. And also the city court issued 70 arrest warrants for probation violations and failure to appear. Cumming Playhouse has been very busy also. Highlights on the Playhouse served more than 20,000 patrons, provided venue for 18 performances during 2015, including Broadway's Gypsy, Chorus Line, Annie Get Your Gun, Cats, as well as Smoke on the Mountain, and several traveling productions and local groups. Cumming Fairground was also busy, hosting 4 annual signatory events. Taste of Forsyth was a busy one. 22 local restaurants participated. Easter egg hunt with 25,000 eggs for children, approximately 15,000 in attendance. July the 4th festivities, vendors, fireworks, and dance contest on July the 3rd, and the steaming and parade, which ends at the fairground on July the 4th. Approximately 20,000 July the 3rd, 25,000 July the 4th attended the parties. Cumming Country Fair and Festival also a record-breaking attendance this year with 167,827 people came through the fair this year. We had several free concerts featuring the Oak Ridge Boys, Corey Smith, Joe Diffie, Marvel Superheroes Show, and 6 daily ground acts daily for the 11 days in the Heritage Village and Indian Village. Fairground also hosted 16 North Georgia Quarter Midget free races, 15 rental events such as the National Scent Dog Trail and Relay for Life, and several community events such as electronic recycling, the farmers market, and trunk or treat. Also, the fair also saw the operations of Mary Alice Park on their daily, kept it manicured, kept it up. Park and Recreation highlights for 2015 registered 9,057 participants, logged an estimated 61,615 participant visits, provided camps and other programming in the area of art, basketball, dance, drama, fitness, gymnastics, self-defense, and tennis. Busy year for them. Under planning and zoning, it's also been busy. Planning and zoning departments issued 634 permits. Revenue off of the permits was $199,684. Number of business licenses was 1,635. License revenue was $451,186. Total permits and license October the 31st, as of October 31st, 2015, was 2,269. Utility department's been very busy with water and sewer services. Served 18,798 water customers, 9,198 sewer customers, gained 439 water customers and 396 sewer customers over the past 12 months. Completed the following projects: Set Down Creek Wastewater Pump Station at a cost of $1,358,000. Set Down Creek Gravity Sewer and Force Main, $469,695. Highway 20 East 16-inch water line replacement, $1,414,352. Acres Road Highway 20 wastewater force main and gravity sewer was $244,000. Extension on Dr. Brownlee Road 12-inch water line was $696,120. Lanier Beach South wastewater pumping station force main and gravity sewer was $664,000. Projects in process and under construction is Castleberry Road 16-inch water line replacement at $1,592,385. Also, the city is purchasing through the SPLOST generators for the raw water intake and also the treated water for production facility on Highway 9 at a cost of $2,863,712. Just in case to have power outages, we'll still be able to pump all the service customers the water. Betheview Road and Sewer Line Project, $2,915,379. All of these projects that are 100% complete has already been paid for. And the ones that are not completed, the money's in reserve to pay for it. All of it's been done without no city assessed property tax. No city assessed property tax. So I congratulate the city council on a good year and look forward to serving the county, or the city and county in 2016. And that's just the highlights of what the money that's budgeted that we're going to be voting on next year. 2015 budget amendment is requested, and this comes about whenever the amendment, you don't use all of your money that's you budgeted for your various departments, and the state requests you and mandates that you have a budget amendment approved. So with that said, there's city auditors, which is Cole Stevens, Charles Cole, and John DeRoy. Jeff Stevens is this auditors for the city of Cumming. So this is required not only by our auditors but by the state, and it has to be sent to the state. So Chair will entertain a motion to amend the 2015 budget.
I make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, we come to the 2016 budget. This is what this money has been spent, the money that I just talked about was spent for. We have a total budget under the administrative, police department, fire department, street department, planning and zoning, park and recreation, aquatic center, garbage service, fairgrounds, playhouse, capital improvements, and a contingency for a total of $13,521,500. This is something that's had public hearing on, been passed out, everybody's had a copy of it. I'd recommend that the council approve this budget for 2016 under the general fund revenue. And all those departments that I mentioned are general fund revenue. I hear a motion.
Make a motion, we adopt
I have a second.
2016.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Also, the water and sewer budget, we have under distribution, production, wastewater, fixed charges, capital improvements, contingencies, we have a budget of $17,735,000. This takes care of all these costs that you heard me reading out of millions of dollars a few minutes ago. I hear a motion that we approve the water and sewer budget.
So moved.
Have a motion, have a second.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much. That looks like for a total of a little over $30 million for both general fund revenue and the water and sewer. I want to compliment and thank Gerald and Steve and their department heads for working on the budget. It's not an easy task to work out the budget. It takes start usually in September and get it done right before this meeting, before a public hearing. So, we have a budget request from every department, and we go down, and most of the time every department's got all the wish list, the Christmas list, and we go down each list and find out how much money that we can budget for that department based on the projected revenue that the city's going to be taking in. And a lot of them will have to cut, but we always work with the departments and look at the revenue once a month, see what percentage of expenditures they've spent, and control the budget on a monthly basis. So we appreciate Gerald and Steve and his staff, and also all the departments for working within the budget. Okay, item 4, we have a lease request of the old recreation building whenever the new recreation building is going to be completed, and this is for Creative Enterprise, and Lisa Bennett's here to give you a little information. Lisa, you want to come up and give a little information in reference to what this is about?
I will be glad to. Forsyth County has a wonderful special education program in the school system, but we have nothing for adults once they leave the school system. And these adults cannot really work in the community, and we need some kind of place that they can come to learn skills, to work jobs, to take classes, to be with their friends, up until the age of whatever. Because as you know, adults with disabilities are living longer and longer now. And parents who have children or adults, they can't work. They have to stay home with their adult children once they age out of school. So I would like to partner with Creative Enterprises, which is a nonprofit organization in Lawrenceville, who has been in operation for 34 years and has an adult day program for adults with disabilities. I'd like to partner with them as a satellite because there's a lot that goes into running a program like this with Medicaid and deeming waiver funding, liability, all that kind of stuff. So they've agreed to partner with us to house the satellite program or to oversee the program here while I learn how to do that, because it's going to take a few years for me to get that. And I hope at some point we will be a standalone. But right now I feel like for this program to be successful, we need to partner with Creative Enterprises. My task was to find a place to house the program. And because it's nonprofit and we get money from Medicaid waiver, you can't really use that money to spend it on a building. So Creative Enterprises in Lawrenceville spends $1 a year. The county leases them the building for $1 a year, and they've been doing that for 34 years. Wonderful program. So in looking throughout, I need it to be in the city of Cumming because we're going to be busing in from all over the county. We're going to serve students countywide or adults countywide. So we really needed it for just, convenience to be in the city. And I've had a special needs camp with the city of Cumming for 16 years now, and it has been so successful. And parents know the city of Cumming is a big supporter of people with disabilities. So I've been looking at a lot of buildings. Of course, everything in around is really expensive. I did not realize that. $1,200, $1,500 for a very small space. So I've been looking at the park building because that's where we hold camp, and I submitted a proposal to Mayor Gravett, and we did discuss it a little bit and talked about the need, and I just feel like that this is something that Forsyth County Cumming has always needed. I've spent my life with special education for 34 years. I did retire this year from the school system, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to stop doing it. I just think that we need something for these adults that have nothing else to do, and if we don't start it now, I'm afraid it's not going to be started. So I'd like to use the park building. It's a perfect location. It's got the facilities we need. We would be willing to take on the insurance, any needed repairs. They have all the, they have their attorney who would be over everything. It would be at no cost to the city of Cumming. And we can pay a little bit of rent if we need to, but that's the request for our adults with disabilities in Forsyth County and Cumming.
And this, Lisa, this is the adults who traditionally may not have a life as a senior citizen, and may be some of the ones who maybe fall through the crack and don't get to go to the senior center or something to that effect, and it'll be a training program kindly for that.
Yes. The seniors that go to the senior center don't typically have a disability. We're talking about people who have a low IQ, poor social skills. The senior center could not provide the supervision and the instruction that these adults would need. So our goal would be to offer them classes, and we do meteorology, we do life skills, we do current events, but they also do jobs. They also work, that we contract with companies. And Creative Enterprises has companies that they contract with. So the clients can make money and they feel worthwhile. Right now, I would say maybe 2% of our students who leave the school system are actually able to work because there is nothing here.
Council have any questions? Lisa, anybody have any questions?
Be year to year, correct?
I don't know.
It'd be no longer than a 1-year lease, correct?
I think it's a good program. Lisa explained it to me, and it's something that probably the county has needed for a long time. And I believe you told me, I suggested that the county needs to participate in this, and you said you'd be getting support from the county.
Yes, there is a clause that in the money that the county gets, that the money goes to the senior citizens and toward the elderly and disabled. And right now, all that money is going to the senior center. And I don't want to take money away from that, but I do want maybe to use their vans or, some way that we can collaborate. They're going to have to set aside money for handicap because right now the money's going into senior center. And I've talked to several commissioners about we need to put that in the budget because this is where the money's earmarked to go. We just haven't had a program to put it into. I would like to say that we would have enough money in 5 years to build our own building, and if we need to, we will. We'll find it. But I think we would do a year-to-year lease in hopes that
Y'all would be willing to take care of the needs of the facility and bring it to code to satisfy the state fire marshal, obviously.
correct. Yes, we will take care of all of that. It will not cost you anything.
It won't cost the city anything.
No, it will not cost you anything. I think it's I just feel like, I've had a lot of things going on in my life in the last 5 years, and I feel like I'm still here to get this program going, and I'm going to do that.
Any other questions? I'd recommend that the city lease it based on the attorneys getting together and working out the lease, and if the cheapest rate it could be, if we can do it for $1 a year for the city as a contribution, I'd like the city to be able to do it, maintaining the building and hold the city harmless of anything.
Absolutely.
It'd be worked out, so that's my recommendation to the board.
I'd make a motion.
Have a motion from Ralph.
I second.
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 Any other discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and item B, planning and zoning, alcohol license for the late renewal, Leah's Pizza, Mr. Coppin, John.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman. What we have is late renewals for alcohol licenses for businesses, and the first one, as Mr. Mayor mentioned, was Mia's Pizza. Was simply turned in late. He had plenty of notice, was in communication with the owner, but the fact of the matter is he returned his renewal packet and funds into Planning and Zoning Department late, too late to get on the same agenda meeting that the rest of the licensees were on. And so this would be a renewal for his 2016 alcohol license for his business.
Okay, and you recommend renewal?
Yeah, I recommend that we renew it. He has met all the requirements and paid the late fee that's due to the city that comes along with turning it in late.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion.
Have a motion, John D. Have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your
All in
hand.
favor.
Unanimous. John, item 2, Beverage Depot 2.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this gentleman was intending on shutting his business down at the end of 2015, but apparently he's a package store, and apparently had trouble getting rid of all of his inventory or finding someone to purchase his inventory before 2016 rolled around. Therefore, he needed to go ahead and renew his license. Of course, he was late too because he had intended on shutting his business down. And because of that, he is going ahead and paying the late fees as well. So because of that, I do recommend that that the city go ahead and renew his license to continue operations into 2016.
Recommendation is to renew the license of Beverage Depot 2. Hear a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Okay, Tacos Mexico.
Yes, sir. This is another one that just simply turned their application and funds in late to the city, and they have been assessed the late fees as well. But they have completed their application and rendered the funds over to planning and zoning. So if, my recommendation, therefore, is that we,
Chicago, Mexico. Have a motion?
Make a
Make a motion.
Make a
Have a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Yes. All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, John.
thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman.
Item 4, change orders for River Sand Incorporated. Jamie?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman. We're currently under construction with two projects. This is associated with the Lake Alice Dam breach. And those two projects have three different components. There's construction that's occurring along Sanders Road where the culvert was. There's construction that's occurring upstream. It's not construction, but there was some sediment that was deposited upstream from the culvert, and there's sediment that was deposited downstream from the culvert. And I'm going to try to kind of make this abbreviated because it gets convoluted kind of when you talk about it a whole lot. It gets bigger and bigger, but we originally let this project with two line items on one project, and then the other project was downstream. So there's an upstream, a Sanders Road, and a downstream. We did not award the upstream project because we were trying to do some things with the permitting through the Corps and the EPD that would allow us to save money on that part of the work. So when we originally let the bids, it was about it was actually $76,000. That was the low bid on the upstream part of the Sanders Road project. We did not award that money, and instead of doing that, we worked some things out with the local jurisdictional authorities that do the permitting that allows us to do work within the cove itself that resulted in the $29,000 change order. So we didn't do the $76,000 worth of work, and we're having to do $29,000 worth of work. So there was about a $46,000 savings between the way we're doing the work, which had a lot of people involved as far as the permitting and the way we were having to remove the sediment that was caused from the dam breach. So the $29,000 change order is actually about a $46,000 savings if you look at the original bid. Now, the downstream part of the project, which is from Sanders Road downstream, that's Sanders, that's Little Ridge Creek Cove itself. That's the Lake Lanier Cove, and we're having to get. There's 6,000 cubic yards of sediment that was deposited in that cove. That was quantified in April of 2014. So if you can envision 6,000 cubic yards of silt, which is about 600 dump truck loads, is in that cove, and it measured 850 feet from Sanders Road downstream in the cove. So in April of 2014, we had 6,000 cubic yards of sediment that was quantified by a third-party engineering company, and it went 850 feet downstream. So we took proposals from different people as to the best way to get that silt out of the lake. And the cheapest bid was River Sand Incorporated, and they bid that project with aquatic backhoes, which means it's a backhoe that floats on water. The second company that bid it was named Patcom out of Miami, and they basically bid the job to do it with barges, to bring a boat in, put the silt on the boat, and then take the boat back to shore somewhere and unload the silt. So we awarded that contract to River Sand for $247,000, and that was about half price of the next bidder. So we had about $250,000 savings between the low bid and the high bid on the dredging part of the project. Now, since April of 2014, 2,000 yards of that 6,000 yards has floated downstream, further down the lake. So the 6,000 yards is not contained within the 850 feet. It's now contained within 1,150 feet. And that's due because of the time, because of the weather. We had a lot of rain. It wasn't anybody's fault that it moved. It was just a matter of circumstances of trying to get the permits. You know, there's a lot of different entities involved with this project. So 2,000 yards of that silt migrated downstream. And as a result of that, the amphibious backhoes cannot reach that silt. So,
Because it's 300 feet longer.
yes, it's deeper. It's 4 or 5. The further you go, not exponentially, but it gets way deeper from the cove. It starts increasingly getting deeper. And with these hoes, they have to relay the silt from one hole to the other. So when you get 300 feet downstream, it's not feasible to do it with a hoe. So they're basically going to have to bring a barge in, which is very expensive, but they're going to have to bring a barge in, and they're going to have to remove 2,000 yards of that silt on a barge now. So that second change order for $60,000 reflects the cost of getting the 2,000 yards of dirt that has migrated downstream. That's money that it would take to remove it on a barge. So the bottom line is we're spending about $13,000 more than our original bids came in. Even though we've got a $60,000 and a $29,000 change order, the net increase to the city is $13,000.
Okay, any questions?
My question is, in the original proposals, I believe the second bid, which was higher, they mentioned using a barge instead of an amphibious backhoe anyway, but that was more expensive. But since we have to get one now anyway because it's a longer distance than we originally thought, is it cheaper to just use a barge and cut out the amphibious backhoes since you have to have a barge now anyway?
It is not cheaper, and we're already using the amphibious backhoes. So they've already started relaying. But to answer your question, it is not cheaper. It would be
That's fine.
expensive. Yeah.
I think you said it's all convoluted, and
Yes.
I don't understand it all, but put it all in a nutshell, I think anything from Sanders Road toward Lake Alice, that was the first one. And
Yeah, that was a $76,000 cost.
The original price to do that was $70,000 some odd dollars.
76,000, yes, sir.
And due to the fact that was all stabilized, but before it got stabilized, all of that silt washed down in the lake.
Yes,
Sanders Road.
some of it washed, and then
this is that additional silt that washed them up there down there, right?
well, there's probably a small amount of silt that washed there, but it's also the Corps is looking at this from a volume basis, but it's a little bit of a lot of different things. But you could
And-
say that, yes, sir.
And the Oasis engineering firm, they done core drillings to verify that the silt had moved on down in the lake.
Yeah, Oasis is a third-party engineering firm. They have cored the creek bed and they've cored the lake. And the silt from the dam is a different color, and they know old silt from new silt. So they've actually quantified, and they know where that silt is. And the Corps and the EPD recognize that Oasis is, they're accepting all their figures and calculations, and when we get through with the job, Oasis will give them a report, and it will say this silt was removed from these different locations.
EPD, they approved, and they recommended Oasis engineering firm to do this.
They know that Oasis is the
Go out and
third-party
do this.
engineering firm, and they recognize them as experts on quantifying the silt.
Okay, and on the $60,000 one, that was the silt that had migrated from the dam when it broke and all the other into this certain location. And from April of this year, of last year on up till now, that's shifted on down into the lake. Is that what that's about?
That is correct. It's 300 more feet down in deeper water.
It's in a deeper
Yes,
situation. It's going to cost more than that much to get it out.
that's exactly right.
And Oasis,
We measured
their
that.
planning department, they're going to verify that all this is taken out where the Corps of Engineer and EPD will sign off on it.
That's exactly right. When we were required by the permitting process, we were required to have another sediment survey prepared because from April 2014, they wanted to make sure there wasn't any more silt that was in the cove. So we requested Oasis to do another sediment survey, and that's when they discovered that the 2,000 yards had moved downstream. So the city actually had to do that as part of the permitting process.
Council have any questions? No more questions?
I
Okay.
make a motion, we approve the add-ons.
I second
Okay,
it.
the change order was $29,280. That was the first change order. I have a motion from Lewis and second from John Daly. Any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Item B, change order, $60,000. I hear a motion.
Make
So
a
moved.
motion.
Have a motion, have a second.
Yep,
Second.
second.
All, any discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Danny. Item C, utilities. Request to advertise for bid, Shamley Gap Road Pump Station. John Hurd, Director of Utilities.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, as you know, the city's water and sewer service area continues to grow rapidly. In the area of Shambly Gap Road near Highway 20, just west of Bethelview Road, there's a need for sewer service. We've had a developer come to us, and the developer submitted a check in the amount of about $550,000 for the city to install a wastewater pumping station in Force Main on Shambly Gap Road, pump up to Highway 20 and then back to Bethelview to connect to our existing system. And the Department of Utilities is requesting that the mayor and council allow us to advertise for bids for this sewer system expansion and come back to you with the bid results for your consideration at the February council meeting.
Okay, have a request to advertise for bids for the Shamley Gap Road Pump Station, which will be, a couple of months, you'll be back to us.
In February, yes, sir, that's the plan.
Okay, the chairman entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Must have a second.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Okay, item 2, Cheatham Creek Sewer Line.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, similarly, the system in the Shambly Gap area along Cheatham Creek is growing. We've had the request for sewer capacity for 680 residential units. The developer submitted approximately $4.1 million towards this sewer system expansion project, and we're requesting that that you give us permission to advertise for bids for the Cheatham Creek wastewater pumping station, gravity sewer, and force main project, and bring the bids back in February for your consideration.
Any questions, John?
All right.
Your motion to authorize to advertise for bid for Cheatham Creek Sewer.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council.
Okay, the last item on the agenda, executive session. I hear a motion to adjourn for executive session.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your hand.
Pending litigation.
Pending litigation.
Yes.
I hear a motion, we return out of executive session.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, I hear a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. Unanimous.
And everybody have a Merry Christmas.